Welcome back to another episode of the BlinkersOn podcast. This is episode number 6. Myself, Nicky Price, we're going to get into it. We got a lot in store, but I was shaking my head at the start. Those gosh darn Bears. I mean, heartbreaker. They played well. I think Caleb lost the game at the end. I don't really know what happened. I think DJ Moore overran his route, but it's in the past. It's Pegasus week. And before we get started, we got a little message from our sponsors. Old Smoke Clothing, celebrating the sport of kings. T-shirts, hats, polos, tailored to horse racing fans like you and me. Use code BlinkersOn20 for 20% off your first purchase at oldsmokeclothing.com. I repeat, BlinkersOn20 for 20% off your first purchase at oldsmokeclothing.com. Pegasus week this week, folks. Big race. I believe the Pegasus this year is $5 million. So, today, we're going to be going over the card. We're going to give out a pick 5, Price and I's picks. We're going to go through the pick 5, sort of give what we liked on the program, why we picked these horses. Of course, we got Nicky Price's price play, and then a who's got who is going to be our favorite Pegasus winner. But let's get into it. We got a little bit of cancellation this week. Turfway's canceled today. Aqueduct canceled the weekend, moving it to Wednesday. But the snowstorm and the cold storm is really affecting the racing, and we're not sure how long it's going to go. Turfway could be canceled up to next week. Price is coming down for a contest, but we hope that it doesn't get canceled. I mean, too many cancellations moves the racing and impacts the stakes races. So yesterday was the Eclipse Awards, and there were a lot of deserving winners. I think there were a lot of winners that could have been given, that shouldn't get the award, that didn't get the award. Congratulations to Flavien Prat winning Jockey of the Year. Congratulations to Bill Mott winning Trainer of the Year. Godolphin won Owner of the Year. There were a lot of awards. I won't run through them all, but I do think that one of the most deserving awards was Ted Noffey for the 2-year-old Male of the Year. That horse is going to be the Derby favorite. He is already the Derby leader in points. I believe he's undefeated. I think that was the most deserving. I think that Chad Brown or Brad Cox could have won Trainer of the Year. I think Irad Ortiz should have won Jockey of the Year. That's what I was hoping for, but congratulations to Flavien Prat. But let's talk about Pegasus. We got a 13-race card tomorrow. That's Saturday at Gulfstream Park. The first stakes race starts in the 8th, I believe. I handicapped it a little bit. I'll give a winner out. There's, I think, only a few horses that could run in that, could win that race, and I think it's the 6 or the 1 horse. They're the 2 morning line favorites. But I'll leave race 9 through 13 when we bring on Nicky Price. So, without further ado, let's bring on Nicky Price. Nicky Price, are you with us? Nicky Price, can you hear me? Nicky Price.
What's up, cuz?
There he is. What's up, cuz? How you doing?
Pretty good. Not bad.
All right.
Pegasus.
Yeah, Pegasus, that's right.
I studied this card a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I got a good price play this week, actually. I think that I like this horse a lot.
Yeah,
probably the most I've liked one of these horses since that first week that I hit.
Yeah, well, the first week got canceled, remember?
No, second week.
Second week, there you go. Yeah, no, you shared the price play with me. We actually did use it in the pick 5 ticket, so stay tuned. Price, you got any feelings about the Bears before we get into this week?
No, I look at it. I was obviously you're upset because they get to that point you want to win, but I looked at it as they weren't even split. Vegas had them at 7.5 wins. You know,
yeah.
They overaccomplished this year. They're going to be better next year. For once, we could say we got a quarterback, we got a coach. So you can't. I don't know. You obviously wanted to win, but what are you going to do?
Yeah. What can you do? All right. You want to get into the Nicky Price play of the day? Handicap that for the folks. Nicky Price play sponsored by Mr. D's. Mr. D's hash browns. Go to your local grocery store. Quality since 1976. Look in the freezer section and pick up Mr. D's hash browns.
All right. Saturday, Pegasus Day, Gulfstream. We're going race 10. This is stakes race. Mile and a 16th on the turf. I already kind of marked this up a little bit because, like I said, we did handicap a pick five, so this was part of the sequence. And when I was looking through that sequence, I actually really like this horse. So he's in the second leg of the pick five. Pick five starts in race 9. This is race 10. This is Saturday. You see, it's a mile and 16th on the turf, 500,000, right? 4 and up. The one, he's been off since October. Which a lot of times with stakes horses, you'll see that more than as like in the previous weeks. I don't think I've done a stakes race for one of these yet. So stakes horses, they're obviously higher quality horses and they're going to run less because like they run a lot faster times and it takes more out of them in these higher level races. So a lot of times they don't turn back as quick. When one does turn back relatively quickly, like I'm talking a couple of weeks, I do usually like to bet them because that means they're in form. So the one, he's been off since October. He's a little cheaper. He's coming from Woodbine. He's 0 for 1 at Gulfstream. I don't know. I didn't really see much in this horse. New jockey, Florent's never been on him. He's kind of gotten beaten by some of these horses in the race. You can see he got beat by Breathe Away and got beat by Catalan and Greatness. They're both in this race. We'll talk about them in a little bit. The two I liked a little bit, Grand Motion. He's ran well at the distance. You can see he's got 2 highlighted in pink over here. He's got 2 starts at the distance. So mile and 16th, right? He's got 2 starts at the distance. He's got a first and a third, 141,000 in earnings. The only reason he's never ran at Gulfstream, that's a little question mark. Thing about Gulfstream is their stretch is a lot shorter than most other tracks. So a lot of times when you have a closer or, whatever it might be, the Gulfstream's a speed favoring track because a lot of times closers, they don't have enough time to make up that ground because of how short the stretch is. I thought this horse had a good workout on January 17th, right? So obviously I had that highlighted and it was on the turf, which is what I like because I like when they work on the turf when they're about to race on the turf. And you really only see that in stakes races, but Grand Motion does that a lot. But you could see this horse's last race was at Del Mar, right? But I did like how, this is why I highlighted it, they shipped this horse to Palm Meadows. Palm Meadows is a training track in Florida. So this horse has been stabled in Florida. It's not like he shipped from California right over and had only maybe one workout. He's been here. So you can see after Del Mar, they went to FAI, which is where Grand Motion's based out of. That's in Maryland. And then they went down to Florida. So he's been there for a little bit. I'll use this horse in the exacto. The 3 Brad Cox horse. I'll get to this in a second. I highlighted Edgar Zayas because actually Edgar Zayas jumped off this horse and went to my pick in the race. So I did not like this horse. The Ocean Murphy horse, Miguel Comat. Kind of same thing. He's been off since November. Reason I didn't like he's done okay at the track. You can see he's got six starts. It's 2 firsts, a second, and 2 seconds and a third. But I didn't like this horse because we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. One of the things I look for is workout patterns, right? And you can see the workout pattern on this horse. He worked out January 14th, but then he didn't have a workout in between January 24th and January 14th. So I don't know what happened in between those weeks. So I don't like to play those horses. No 4 for me. Mark Casse, well, he's got to watch on big days, the 5, right? He's trained by Mark Casse. So yeah, I mean, this horse is a little cheaper. He's 300,000. He comes from Churchill on the 28th in the Miss Reeve Stakes, right? It was a mile and a 16th on the turf. He could be there. He'll be close. Mark Cassie's always one to watch out for. I just didn't like the reason I didn't really like this horse that much is you can see at Gulfstream. And like I said, Gulfstream is a track where either horses love it or they don't. There's no really in between. So he's got four starts and 1 win, only 60,000. So that was a little cheaper race that he won here. And at the distance, he's not great. So I did not pick that horse. This is who I thought the speed of the race was. You can see I wrote that there. Yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens there. He could get the lead, but obviously Flavien Prat went to the 7. And that's the reason I didn't really like this horse. This horse comes from Turfway, so he'll get a little surface change going from the synthetic to the turf. Kevin Attard, who's based out of Canada, right? He sends this horse down here. But I didn't understand why Pratt, who has been on this horse, you can see the 21st, the 4th, September 13th, right? He was on this horse. August 16th at Woodbine, he was on this horse. He goes to the 7 Whiskey Decision, who is the other horse I'll use in the exacta. So right now we got 7 and the 3 in the exacta. This horse is by Into Mischief. They can run on anything. Um, I thought he had a good workout at the training track. 2 good workouts, steady work pattern. You can see he's January 17th, January 10th, January 3rd, 27th, so on and so forth. It keeps going. He is off a little layoff, so we'll see how that goes. He's done really well at the distance, but you can see I put a question mark just because I don't really know. He's never ran at Gulfstream, and that's one of the things. The stretch is so short. This horse might sit in the middle of the pack, so it might not matter as much to him, but I think this horse could get there underneath, and I like the fact that Pratt gets off the 6 and goes to the 7. The 8, Brendan Walsh horse, he goes up in class. He's a little cheaper. Proctor Street, I remember this horse won at Keeneland. I think I was there for that race. Tough. He likes the distance, never been at Gulfstream. Just, I think he's a little too cheap for here. Not for me here. This Jorge Ruiz horse, Jose D'Angelo, another one going up in class, right? He's done okay at Gulfstream. He's done okay at the distance. He's got decent workouts. He could be there. I'm not saying he can't. I don't really like the trainer as much on big days. He's more of a I think he's more of like he could have good horses, but it's not. He's more like a claimer allowance type trainer. So I wouldn't. Not for me there. A lot of horses in this race. Jesus, I'm getting tired talking here. The 10, Mark Cassidy again. Javier Castellano. Second time over the track. That's always an angle. That was his first time, so he ran at track, ran at the distance, which is not a bad thing. He had 2 bullet workouts, January 14th, January 4th, but he skipped a week in between those, so I don't like that. That's 10 days in between workouts. I usually try to get 7. So here's where this is where I'm going with this. This 11 ties into why I like the 12. The 12 is my play this week, and I really like this horse. I talked about earlier how Saez got off a horse and went to the 12, right, for Safi. This horse, the 12, loves the track, right? 3 starts, 2 wins, seconds, distance, done well at the distance. Ken Ramsey wins big races, but here's where I'm going to get into. Double entry, right? We talked about this a couple weeks ago, okay? Where I said I like to stay away from double entry. If I do play them, I technically lean towards the longer shot. That's part of the reason I like this horse, but not the full reason. A lot of times with double entries in stakes races, okay, you get horses that train coupled or train together or work out on the same day for the same trainer. In this case, it's Safi Joe. So Safi trained both these horses on January 16th at Palmettos, okay? The 12 ran in 47, okay? He was 4:45, okay? The 11 ran the same day, 4 furlongs and 48. He was 10:45, so the 12 beat him in a workout there, okay? The same day, January 9th, right? They worked out. The 12 worked in 48 and 3. He was 3:51, okay? The same day, January 9th, at Palmettos, this horse worked out 49 and 1, 10:51. To me, that shows me that this 12 has been working out better than that 11. This 11's 5-1. That's Irad money. Okay. Edgar Zaya is not as known of a jockey as Irad. This horse will be a longer price, and I think he's working out way better than this 11 right now and is in good form and likes the track and likes the distance. This 12 has a huge shot, I believe. I really do think so. 12-1 on the morning line. We'll see what we get, but I do like this 12 a lot.
Yeah, I like it, Price. That's why we used it in the pick 5. I'm real confident, and I love it. I'll definitely be playing it because I'll be playing the pick 5. All right, well, let's get into the next segment. We've never done it. We've never done a total ticket together. So what we're going to do here is we're going to switch off races. I'll go race 9, and then you can go Race 10. Well, I guess you just handicap the entire race, so we don't need to do it. So you'll take 11, and then I'll take 12, and then we'll sort of both talk about the actual Pegasus. What do you think, Bryce?
Yep, that's good. By the way, the exacta in the price play was 2-7-12. I forgot to say that
Okay.
2-7-12 was the exacta.
All right. Sweet. All right. Starting the race, the pick five. It's a $64 ticket for a 50-cent bet. All right. Race 9. We're gonna go with the 1, 3, and
No,
4.
wrong,
No,
wrong,
sorry.
wrong.
Sorry. 3, 4, 8, and 10. 3, 4, 8, 10. We'll have the ticket on the screen, so you'll be able to take a picture. Just going back, we think the 3 is going to go out and get the lead and match that 2 because the 2 is a 30-1 price that we know is going to get the lead. He's going to go
Deep
out. That's the
speed.
only shot he's got, right? The only shot he's got is if he gets the lead. So we think the 3 is going to go out there. I mean, he's also the morning line favorite. He can withstand the distance. My pick was the 4. We threw in the 4 because the 4 could get out to the lead, but I don't think so. I think he's going to stalk a little bit behind. He might be 3 or 4 horses back, but he can run. We know that he'll run at the end. He'll be a late runner. We know that he's going to finish. Might not be first, but we threw him in at 10-1 in the ticket. We sort of think this race is wide open. So
I think it's
could
the hardest race on the sequence, personally.
I think so too. I mean that in race 11. Race 11, we threw 4 horses in too. So and then we go to the 8. That was Price's sort of price play. He liked it a little bit as a longer shot too at 12-1, but he thinks this horse can run late. He thinks he can close. He thinks he's got a good shot. Price, I'll let you elaborate a little bit on that.
Yeah, it's race 8. Okay, race 9. Yeah, I like the 8 a little bit. A question mark. He's never been at Gulfstream, right? He's done well at the distance. He's coming off a little layoff. He hasn't raced since August. Nolan Ramsey's a trainer, but I like that he had a 6 furlong work 2 ago. 6 furlong works in stakes races. I like to look for that. Not a lot of trainers do it. Some of them do, though. He did have a 6 furlong work at Gulfstream. He has a steady work pattern. He gets a little jockey change from Rispoli to Luis Saez. I actually think this horse is going to show more speed. I don't think he'll be on the lead, but I think he will be closer. The only question mark is if he likes Gulfstream.
Yeah. And that's why we threw him in, just because we think he's got a shot. And then that 10, that was also your pick. Go ahead, talk a little bit about that. I like that horse a little bit too, Miguel Clement, Gaffleon.
Yeah, so Gaffleon, Tyler Gaffleon was previously riding the 11, who's 5-1 Safi horse. He gets off the 11 and goes to the 10, at least from what I could see. Ocean Murphy's on the 11, but on the program, the way I would read it is Gaffleon picked this 10 horse. He won his last race at Gulfstream, so he's a start over the track. He's 1-for-1 at Gulfstream. He is a third at the distance. He's got a steady work pattern, good 5 furlong works. Like I said, I like to follow jockeys around in these races because a lot of times it's the same kind of top jockeys, and they ride a lot of these horses because they don't all come from the same races, and then they eventually pick which one's better.
Yeah.
So the 10 here, Miguel Clement, always a player, always a player.
There you go. So race 9, the pick is 3, 4, 8, 10. Then we go to race 10, which was Price's price play of the day. And we're going 2 horses, the 7 and the 12 horse. And race 11, we got the 1, 2, 3, 8 Price. Go ahead, talk a little bit about that race, what you saw, what you liked.
I honestly didn't have this. This was another tough race. I think this was the second hardest race in the sequence. I like this Jody's Pride horse, this George Abreu horse. George Abreu, one of my favorite trainers. He kind of ran a bad race at Keeneland last time, but this horse is class. He has a lot of class, and he gets a little relief here in a little cheaper spot. And a lot of times, sometimes back class is just too much. He had a bullet workout, actually 2 bullet workouts, 3 bullet workouts in a row. One at Gulfstream, he ran 5 furlongs in 59. That's fast. He was 1 of 44 that day. Okay, then he ran a 6 furlong workout. I thought the 3 was pretty good in here, but then again, he does run some bad races, so I felt like we kind of had the spread, but I wouldn't be surprised if the 3 wins easy.
Yeah, it's which horse is going to show up, right?
Yeah, essentially. You don't really know. The 8, we use the 8. We did use the 8, right? Yeah, we used
We
the
did.
8.
Yep.
That was your pick, I think.
Yeah, I liked this horse. I'll expand a little bit about it. This horse is trying to get the lead. You can see in the workouts he worked a 3 furlong bullet. I know he was slow. He was 17 of 18 that day, but he did it in 39 and some change. Um, and then the workout before that, he ran a 4 furlong in 49 and 7. He was 33 of 58, but you know that he's going to try and get out. Anthony Morgata wants to send him out with Javier Castellano, and Castellano didn't ride him before that. That was Alvarado, just because Mott had that horse. But after they switched trainers, he took him to Gulfstream in a $125,000 stakes race, and he broke not very good. He broke sixth, and he ended up winning by a length and a quarter. And I think Castellano really does like this horse. I think the horse has a good shot tomorrow, and that's sort of why I put him in.
I didn't have that strong of opinion. Was the one. I thought the one, I don't know what happened last at Parks. Lost Action East. Not really sure what that. Well, I know what eased means. I don't know what lost action means. But Parks is a weird surface, so like it's kind of hard. But he is 1 for 1 at Gulfstream. He's 2 for 2 at the distance. He has a good workout on January 16th at Palm Meadows. He had a bullet work there. Safi, Irad from the rail. Irad gets off the 2. He was on the 2 last time, but we also used Scotty like that horse.
Yep.
But he does get off the 2 and he goes to the 1. He's going to take money just because as Irad. Personally, I would never bet this horse to win, but I think he can win. So there's a difference when I say I would never bet the horse to win, but the horse can win. I just think this horse from the rail and being Safi and Irad is going to take a lot of money. Personally, I would never bet the horse to win, but I think the horse can win. So in a ticket like this, I use him.
All right. And then who's the last one we got to talk about?
The 2,
The two
the
horse. Yeah.
Riley Mott horse.
That was me. I got a friend that's in the Riley Mott barn. I like the horse, to be honest, on paper. I know Irad got off the horse, but my friend said that she's looked good in the morning. She's been really improving. You can see from the stakes, she went from an allowance 125,000 with Junior Alvarado on it. Ended up winning, but then switched trainers to Riley Mott. They claimed that horse and then ran in the stakes race and ran second at 6 to 1. So, and the workouts show that she's getting better too. 5 furlongs in a minute and 1 second. Was 5 of 8 that day, but then ran a 4 furlong and 48 and 5. So, I mean, again, that I think it's a horse which horse shows up that day, but the horse is really showing improvement, and I think this race is wide open to anybody, and that's why we picked 4. That's why we went 4 deep. Race 12, we did solo it. We didn't solo it, but we went down to 2 horses again, like we did in race 10. We have the 2 and the 10. We think it's not really wide
Chalky
open.
here.
We think it's a chalk race. Yep. We think this 10 is really the best of the best. But again, program trading on the turf, Chad Brown, Flavian Pratt, you can't really throw that horse out, to be honest with you. But we really both like this 10 horse. And there's really not much to say about this race, but it's not really wide open. That's why we only picked 2. And then the Pegasus.
My only
Race-
question mark with this
Yeah.
10, I just want to comment quickly. My only question mark with this 10 is why Pratt goes to the 2. I do think the 10 is a better horse than the 2. I don't know why Pratt goes to the 2, so that's a question mark. And then quickly, we had to cut horses out, but if you do have the bankroll to add another horse, and if you want a long shot, I looked at this 3 horse a little bit, this Patrick Biancone and David Egan horse in this race. So if you do have the bankroll to build on this ticket, this 3 could be a use.
And we did both throw the
15 to
7 in
1.
there too. We both liked the 7 a little bit in that race. So yeah, if you guys have a bigger bankroll, we can throw alternatives on the screen too, but depends. I mean, we're only doing a $64 ticket, but we do like this pick 5. But let's get into the Pegasus, the final race of the day. Sorry, I said 5 million earlier. It's a $3 million purse. These aren't really the top 4-year-olds or higher. We thought that a few horses would go to the race, but it's a good field. And we didn't really want to solo it because We do think other horses can win, but we are going to throw the morning line favorite in 8-5 Disco Time. That is Flavian Pratt, Brad Cox, Juddmonte Stables.
Undefeated.
This horse is undefeated. Yeah, 3-0, 410,000 earned. We think that this horse can really get it done. I mean, the horse hasn't missed a beat. He really hasn't in his works. He's worked 101 and 4. He was second that day out of 16 horses in his work. Then worked 5 furlongs before that and 101 and 4 again, first of 6. Again, like we mentioned, horse is undefeated in all stakes races. I don't think this horse will be far off, and I wouldn't be shocked if he gets in the winner's circle, to be honest with
Hey,
you.
look at this. This horse ran at Fairmount Park, Illinois.
Hey.
Hey, St. Louis Derby.
And then the 10 horse Mika, 10-1 Michael Maker, Manny Franco. Manny Franco getting back on this horse after the Cigar Mile at Aqueduct. That was a grade 2, $500,000 purse. I mean, the horse ran really well that day. He only lost by a neck. He was 14-1. We think this horse can really be in it again. A horse that hasn't really missed a beat since his last start. Worked out on December 20th, 4 furlongs and 49 and 3. He was 18. He I believe 11 of 18 that day, and then he went January 5th. Worked a 5 furlong in a 1 minute and 1 second, and he was 101 that day. And then his most recent, the 17th of January, he did a 5 furlong and 59 and 6. I mean, he was 5th of 44. I mean, this horse is going to be up there. He's going to want the lead. He's going to go out, and if he can set an honest pace at maybe the half in 48 or 49, this horse really has a good shot. So that's our Pegasus. That's our pick 5. Again,
Another, you guys are looking for a long shot in this race. Of course, I have one. We had to cut him out on ticket, but if you want more depth, I thought the 8 was interesting. They put blinkers on that horse, Junior Alvarado. He'll be sitting right in the middle of the pack, and he's got good workouts at Tampa. He's got 3 bullets back to back to back to back. He's got a good work pattern. He has a second over the track, a win at the distance. He's cheaper, but they put blinkers on, and you never know when that happens. So
exactly right. Blinkers On's the podcast name, so we
Yep.
could throw that horse in there. I like the 7 horse. Again, that horse was Brad Cox's top Derby horse. Again, injured the ankle, so hasn't been off, but he ran an allowance race and didn't win very clear. He only won by a length, but he showed that he was the best. I mean, that he showed he was the best in that race. Again, he was 1-9, so he should have won by more, but the horse is a closer. Again, if there's a quick pace, this horse could be in it. I like this horse a lot, but we didn't use him in the pick 5. But again, that could be an alternate as well. But let's get into who's got who price. We're going to go best or top horse to win the Pegasus. Do you have your answer? I did win last week.
I do,
I'll
but
let
you know
take
what? You'll probably win. Yeah, for this, I kind of took it to the heart a little bit. I had like 3 favorite horses growing up. I had Pants on Fire, Mucho Macho Man, and Mucho Gusto. Mucho Gusto won this race. He won this race.
2020 Pegasus winner.
Yeah, 2020. That was during COVID, I remember. But yeah, I don't know. There's not much more to it. I like the name of the horse, and I always bet that horse. And it's just I don't know. It's just the horse that I liked.
I like it, Price.
You'll probably win this week, but sometimes,
That's all right. You never know. Somebody could vote for you. You might pull it out this week. Who knows? So I was stuck between 2. I think if you go back in the day, 95 and 96, I wasn't even alive. But Cigar won back-to-back Pegasus. I don't believe it's ever been done. And that was going to be my pick. But if you look, when you go to sales or look at horses that are on the program that are normally favorites, that are in these stakes races, they are sired by one horse, and that's Gunrunner. Gunrunner won the 2018 Pegasus. I was going to go with Quality Road, but Gunrunner is by far one of the best horses to ever win the race, if not the best horse to ever win this race, and he's one of the best sires. And so my pick's going to be Gunrunner as the best Pegasus winner. Got anything else, Price?
No, it's kind of funny. We got Gunrunner versus Mucho Gusto.
One that's never sired, one that has sired. All right, that does it for episode 6 of the Blinkers On podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, share,
Win some money
comment,
this weekend.
vote, play the pick 5, do whatever you got to do to boost the views. And thanks for watching. That does it for episode 6.